All right, casually explained on finding the one. Honestly, finding the one with current internet standards. You probably need this video. Probably.
So I have some friends who seem to go from relationship to relationship in the span of a few weeks, and others that have been single the entire time I've known them. And it's made me wonder, what are the chances of actually finding the one for you? So after thinking about it for a while, I came up with this formula which can roughly model the probability of meeting the right person after you figure out three things: how often you act on opportunities that arise, how many people you're interested in, and how many encounters you have in a given time frame. Once you figure out what these values are, you can then...
Why is it the OP formula? Overpowered my ass. Okay.
plug them into the formula to get the hope you have left.
Oh, that's so cute. That is so cute. It was not OP, it was hope all along. Cat, don't rub against my microphone, please. Okay.
So let's start with our opportunity value. Some engineering friends told me that using an O as a variable is in bad form because it looks like a 0. But when I told them it represents the courage you have to talk to girls, they thought it was fine.
Touche! Oh, emotional damage 1,000. Very solid point. I gotta respect that.
Bear in mind it is a pretty substantial multiplier, so really sit down and think, out of all the recent opportunities that you've had to ask someone on a date, how many moments did you let slip away, and how many moments were you at least 7 out of 10 drunk?
That would imply I'd leave my house. That would imply I leave my house, because I don't consider sitting in Discord or chatting with someone or going on Twitch and confessing my feelings for my parasocial ass counts as opportunity. So, yeah. I'd have to leave my house first. So I would assume that my O is an actual 0, which checks out. Is 2024 Paws the standard? It's not. It's not though. Freaking don't use sitting and gaming with someone and watching Twitch and stuff as a dating pool. Oh, it's like the worst thing because you can't really tell how a person is online. Sure, there are scenarios where it works and good for them, but generally speaking, you can't really tell how a person is online. They're very different. A lot of people have courage to speak online, and in person, they're like wimps. Or the opposite. They're wimpy online, but they're very chatty IRL. I have met both cases.
Now, next we have P, which is the fraction of people that you would be interested in, and figuring this out takes a bit of work. So if you're...
Does P... Do anime girls count? And villains from books? If they count, it's quite a lot. Yeah.
Thinking, I can't be bothered, I'm down with anyone, then the P can be removed from the equation and you can use the new formula. Okay, so assuming that's not you, we have to be able to figure out how many people in the world that you would be interested
Jesus
in.
Christ,
now, there are
video.
7.4 billion people in the world, so if you're a straight male, biologically speaking, you have 3.7 billion potential partners, but we'll say 4 billion because it's 2017. Now, obviously, you don't want to date someone underage, so we'll say they're at least 18, and you don't want to date someone too much older because then you're less likely to have much in common. Given my age, I'd say that caps out somewhere around 32 or 35. So obviously I prefer if they were single, but wouldn't be the first time I've broken up a marriage.
Oof.
Shout outs mom and dad.
Oof.
So let's focus in on the English-speaking countries. And this is personal preference, but I think a sense of humor is really important for both parties. So I'd really like to date someone who's at least as funny as me.
So someone that's not super hot because they have to develop humor. And if they're hot, they never do that. Got it. quite average standards. Let's go.
Is that possible? Now, I'm pretty vain, so I want any accidental kids to be as good looking as possible. I'm not going to say I'm only going to date 8s and higher because people tend to end up with other people who they perceive to be in the same league. So we'll say 8s and higher with low self-esteem.
8s and higher with low self-esteem, bruh. Oh. Okay, so I guess bullied to believe that they're ugly.
Okay, so I'm looking for an English-speaking girl who's good-looking, single, and laughs at my jokes. That sounds pretty accurate. And after eliminating countries...
Wait, you don't want them to be funny, you want them to laugh at your jokes? Yeah, definitely wanting a unicorn.
That aren't really viable, that ends up at around 10 million or 1 in 100 people, which is our value P. Okay, so moving on to the third and final variable, we need to figure out E, how many encounters you have in a given time frame. Now, the best way to do this is actually recording how many new people you meet in a year, month, or week, and then just extrapolating. But
as a content creator? Yeah. Yeah. Oh boy. Honestly, as a content creator, the formula is wrong because you also have to have a extra parameter there where someone understands what your content creation job is like and that you have no free time. And I feel like that's a big problem that content creators have, in the sense that like people don't realize just how much goes into content creation, and they're like, oh, you have a lot of time, you only like stream 8 hours a day. So just like a normal job, ignoring the fact that you do a shit ton on the side. But hey, it's I'm glad to see that my hope parameters is 0. Let's go!
If you're just looking for a ballpark, they say the average person will interact with about 80,000 people in their life, which is about 2.7 people a day. So if you're a math guy, just use Euler.
80,000? Jesus Christ. So when I had like 5,000 people in my chat, I was consuming so much of my lifetime of encounters. No wonder I don't go out of the house to meet people now. Easy! Yeah, the formula is not H for hope, it's N for nope. It's an actual N.
Euler's number as a default. I decided to actually count how many new people I've said hello to this last month, and that number ended up being about 2.5 a day. Unfortunately, the number of people who said hello back was about 1.8.
What?
That made me sad. Now, for the final step, if we...
I feel that. I actually feel that, because when I go and I'm like trying to like keep up with all the people that I talk to on a regular basis, or like content creators and like acquaintances and stuff, I'm like saying hi, and oftentimes it's like nothing, no reply. So I kind of feel that.
We take all the values that we have so far, we can put them into the hope formula, do some simplifying, do a little bit of number crunching, and the chance of meeting someone who could be the one for you is 1.35% per day, or 99% per year. All in all, that doesn't sound too bad. So with the good news behind us, when the day comes and you do finally meet someone who could be the one for you, all you have to worry about now is finding out if you're the one for them.
Finding out if you're the one for them. Bruh, I knew there was something else to this. There was a freaking loophole. It's never that easy. Yeah, this is literally gacha odds. Like,
conveniently, this formula is exactly the same. All we have to do is take the hope formula and then substitute the H for an N before proceeding as normal.
The nope formula. See? Nope. Is she into you? Can't tell. Nice. I was right. It is a nope formula. Very enjoyable video though. I laughed. But yeah, realistically, I'd say finding people online is a pain in the butt, because looking at, like, if you look at it from the perspective of just meeting up, right? It's like, oh, saving money to see each other or to fly across the ocean. Imagine having to save that much money if you're like in 2 different places, or completely uprooting yourself from your culture, from everything, and moving to somewhere else. It's like into an unknown place for someone that you've only ever known online. It's very weird to think about, because it's extremely risky. So even if people do meet that one person, a lot of them won't feel like they want to take that risk. Quite realistically, like, speaking. Yeah, it depends if you want to move, of course. But it's like, I wonder what the odds of finding the one not online are, right? Like, I feel like this formula was made not online as well, with the perspective of not being online and actually someone going out of the house. So yeah. This was pre-COVID level. Anyway, for those of you on YouTube that are watching this and are still here at the end of the video, which is very rare and most people are not, did you meet your significant other online? Did you meet them yet? Let me know.